everyone. We are so excited to come to you today with some great news. It's always been our goal to help people with weight loss, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, and really all the physical ailments that plague you. So we want to help you, uplift you, and improve your quality of life.
Absolutely. So with this, we are so excited to let you know that we are going to do live cooking shows with you.
Absolutely.
And you are going to cook with Terry and I, ask us questions. It's going to be so fun. So please visit us on our website below for more information.
Hi everyone, I'm Terry.
And I'm Angel.
And today we got a special treat for you. What are we making, babe?
We are going to make Philly cheesesteaks.
Oh my
God. Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Oh my God.
So, and the original ones that we used to eat with mozzarella, well, actually we used to eat them with star provolone, but we're going to eat these with mozzarella and not cheese whiz.
When Angel said, I'm making Philly cheesesteaks, I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to taste these. So I'm excited.
Well, we're really excited. And this is going to be real quick and easy. So we are going to use our steak meat using this jackfruit. So I don't know, I'm sure many of you have cut up a jackfruit before. They're gigantic. It's a lot of work and they're not in season very often. So if you do get a jackfruit, cut it up and freeze it or maybe can it. I don't know. Well, that might cook it. But anyway, so we find these at a little market called Mom's Market. And I'm sure if you have some markets around you, you could also find some of these. But this is just plain old jackfruit in bite-sized pieces. I love it because it says illuminating plant power. So the only thing in this is organic ripe jackfruit. And that's my favorite thing about buying frozen fruit because they freeze it right. It doesn't get any better than that. This is organic. It's perfect. So I used 2 bags of this, 12 ounces. Cut them into strips, and the best way I can say is like when you eat fajitas, how they cut the chicken and the peppers, sort of like that, to mimic the steak or the chip steak. If you were gonna have real steak and a cheesesteak, that's how you would do it.
You let it thaw it out a little bit. And then...
Yeah, you could thaw it out, you know, if you forget, cut it frozen, but it was a little bit easier when we thawed it out. So 2 12-ounce bags is what I used for this today. And I went ahead and marinated it maybe a couple of hours ago. And here's what the jackfruit really looks like. So we cut it into strips like this. It smells so sweet and delicious. And here's a whole bowl. So this is that 2 12-ounce bags in here. What I did is I took 1.5 cups of water that I microwaved, so just to make it a little bit warm. And then I took that water and I put in 2 not beef bouillon cubes. So if you've ever seen the bouillon cubes, you used to be able to get them at Whole Foods. I don't know if you still can, but put 2 of those cubes in there, or if you can't find the cubes, buy the not beef in the I want to call it the liquid form, but they come in like little round containers. So I used 2 cubes of those. I used 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, and I just put it in that warm water and let it all dissolve together and then put it in here. I've had this in the fridge. You can keep it in the fridge for 1 hour or more. This has probably been in the fridge closer to 2 hours. So that's it. That's our steak. And it sure is smelling delicious.
Sounds delicious, smells delicious.
And then onion to taste, because I like the cheesesteak with onions. If you don't like onions, don't use them. If you like mushrooms in your cheesesteak, use them. If you like peppers in your cheesesteak, use them. This is so versatile. So my sweetie cut these onions up for me, just like he always does, because I cry a lot. So we are going to saute these onions until they're nice and soft and translucent, and then we're gonna water saute them. So I'm just gonna put a little splash of water in here. We're gonna get those onions nice and soft, and then we're gonna put our jackfruit beef on top, and we are gonna cook away.
I cannot wait.
So in the meantime, honey, let's make our mozzarella cheese, okay? All right, so what I did, I don't cook with a lot of nuts. You know that because of Terry and his heart disease, but every once in a while, if we're gonna step out and make something like a Philly cheesesteak. You could also use white beans.
Okay.
But I did use a half a cup of just almonds. So these are just like sliced and blanched a little bit, but there's no oil, there's no salt, nothing. These are raw.
And when you say blanched, what is that? You just...
Well, I mean, they're just like raw almonds that they actually, I'm sorry, I said blanched, but I meant toasted. Thank you, honey.
All right.
So raw almonds that are toasted, what I did is I took like 1 cup or whatever. I didn't really measure it. I put water in a little saucepan. I let it come to a boil. I took the half a cup of almonds. I put it in the boiling water, shut the heat off, put a lid on, and I let them sit there for 5 minutes just to get a little bit soft.
Wow.
Now I'm gonna put that half a cup, and thank you so much, in my high-speed blender. Honey, you wanna add some pepper to that? Pepper to taste. You know Terry loves this pepper. And then to these almonds, I'm gonna add 1 1/3 cups of water, so just regular water. And I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. I juiced a lemon, so 1 tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. I'm gonna use 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, because if you've ever eaten mozzarella cheese before, you know it doesn't have just a pungent taste, but it's got a little bit of sour taste, and yeah, so that's the way it goes. And then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And guess what, guys? I'm making this without nutritional yeast, because a lot of times I get people to ask me to make cheese without nutritional yeast, and this is actually perfect without nutritional yeast. If you want something more when you make this, add a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. It won't hurt, it'll just add some flavor. But I wanted to go ahead because I do have some viewers asking for cheese sauce recipes or cheese recipes that do not have nutritional yeast. And then I'm gonna use 4 tablespoons of tapioca flour. Okay. You have to use tapioca flour in this because it's what it's gonna make it stringy and gooey. Okay. There's no other flour that's gonna do that for you. So 4 tablespoons of tapioca flour.
And this is an original recipe. And babe, how'd you come up with this? Did
you just have fun, that's why.
Just have fun?
Yeah, just have fun.
Put combinations together
and you keep trying until you succeed. So yes. So I'm gonna blend this up really quickly.
All right.
Okay? All right, so this is nice and blended, and guys, it's really watery. So
I can see.
And that's okay. Don't worry about it. In the meantime, these onions, thank you, honey, are doing wonderful.
Yep.
So you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna dump our steak mixture on top of the onions.
Okay.
And get all of the yummy ingredients out of there. And we are gonna saute that and just let it get delicious.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on this.
Thank you. And if you cook with somebody in the kitchen, it makes it so much funner. So what I'm gonna do, see how liquidy? This is liquid, like milk, almost. It's loose, it's liquid, but it's not gonna stay this way. So here's what we're gonna do. I just wanna make sure that I get everything out of here. Thank you so much, honey, for moving that.
Yep.
He's reading my mind, people.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm just gonna turn my burner on, and with this, you just gotta watch it really closely, because just constantly stir, because what's gonna happen is it's gonna start to bubble really quickly. And as soon as it starts bubbling, let me move this stuff out of your way and make sure you can see what we're doing here. As soon as it starts bubbling, then you know, and it'll feel like it's gonna clump. And it might make you a little bit nervous, but there's nothing to be nervous about because you want that to start to happen. That's what you get with the tapioca flour. That's why we're using tapioca flour.
Okay, nice.
So we are just
Well,
letting it go. I'm waiting for it to come
these
to a
spices
boil.
and everything coming together smells delicious.
Oh my
We have
gosh.
got to invent a way where we can bring you into
Oh
our
my
kitchen
gosh, wouldn't that
and
be
let you just
amazing?
smell the aromas and smell the spices and smell all the different things coming together. Oh my God.
That would be so cool. So it's starting to clump just a little bit. So you just want to keep your eye on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm using a rubber spatula and I'm using a majorly, if I didn't say it, I apologize. But definitely use a non-stick skillet. I like it better in the skillet. I guess you could do it in a saucepan, but it just seems easier in the skillet because you can kind of push it around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then that makes it really nice.
I can see it starting to clump.
It's starting to clump a little bit, yep. See how it's clumping on the sides?
Yeah, wow. It's pretty cool.
Hopefully you guys can see it starting to get thick and clump. And to be honest with you, I would have liked the almonds to grind up a little bit more, but you know what, who cares? I didn't see what happens when you rush? You don't get everything, but you can start to see how
It's starting to
everything's starting to come together.
wow.
And this is delicious. You're gonna write to me and say that is incredible. So I want you to start to see how gooey it is.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Isn't that neat? Oh my gosh.
Our meat is starting to
Starting to come
come
together.
together with the onions.
So I want you guys to see how gooey
It's
this
like
is.
mozzarella cheese.
Just like mozzarella cheese.
Yeah.
I mean, yum-y. We are gonna wait for the jackfruit to get done, and then we are gonna assemble these sandwiches, and they are gonna be magnificent.
I cannot wait. Oh my God, I cannot wait. Alrighty.
So we're back, and we cooked the steak meat for about 20 to 25 minutes, just to get it past that chewy stage. And you guys know, if I do nothing, I tell you the truth. So we tasted it, and it was delicious, but it had a lot of, I could taste how sweet that jackfruit was when they froze it, which is not a bad thing, but we're trying to have steak, right? So what I did is I got this steak seasoning. I just had this Simply Organic grilling seasoning steak. And I got this out to try to cut a little bit of that sweet. I put 1.5 teaspoons of this in there, and it made it perfect. It did the trick. So 1.5 teaspoons of steak seasoning, whatever steak seasoning you like, but it just cut through that sweet.
Absolutely.
And this, when we first started cooking it, it's chewy. So you just gotta cook it 20 to 25 minutes. And there's your chip steak meat ready to go, smelling delicious.
In the lab.
And guys,
the kitchen lab. I always call this Angel's Kitchen Lab.
That's right. Food science, people.
Exactly.
So, well, you know I love science, right?
Absolutely.
So, if you can see how gooey this is. Now, to tell you the truth, when I made this before, I'm usually really busy. So I let it sit in that hot boiling water for a long time. I told you guys 5 minutes. I would push that more to 15 because I usually don't have all these chunks in here of the almonds.
But it turned out great.
But it's perfect. It's just as gooey as it always gets. Look at that.
Yeah.
And I tasted it. It's delicious.
Absolutely.
It's magnificent. So
Can't wait to put it together.
try this on pizza. You're gonna flip. But keep those almonds in that water 15 or 20 minutes to make sure they're nice and soft. You could also use cashews if you want. Usually don't give any nuts to Terry. This is a treat. But you know, once every 2 months he might get a nut or something. So but you know, I choose the almonds over the cashews because of the nutritional value. But there's nothing wrong with cashews, and I'm just using a 1/2 cup. We bought these rolls, they're oil-free. Again, it's a treat. I could not find these in whole wheat, but I'm not gonna buy anything with oil in it, as you know. So I tell you, my grandmother used to say, pull all that bread out of there so you can put the good stuff in. So I'm gonna pull the bread out, and we're gonna do it like this.
Okay.
How's that?
That looks awesome.
So let's put some of our steak in here. I'm really super excited,
Me
honey.
too. I can't wait to taste it.
This is gonna be yummy.
Wow,
And
that looks good.
the small rolls, because they're not whole wheat. But look how gooey this is.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
The way that cheese, or the way that came together
Look at that.
to form cheese, it is amazing.
That's the tapioca
Simply
flour
amazing.
doing that.
Right.
So you don't have to put that much, but since we're going out on a limb today, we are gonna do that. So here's our sandwich.
Wow, that looks good.
Doesn't that look delicious?
You can see the cheese oozing out the sides, just like a cheesesteak, right?
Just like a cheesesteak. So let's cut it because we are going to share.
Okay.
It's so hot.
We're gonna do our salud.
Hopefully we don't get burned, but if we do, it'll be worth it. Uh-oh. Sorry guys, I'm not being very gracious today, but you got the idea. Look how amazing this is. Honey, you get the big side.
Yay.
Look how gooey. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. It's like a
Oh my
cheesesteak.
gosh, we are gonna be a mess.
Salud. Over the plate. Mm.
Guess what we just had? A cheesesteak.
Oh my god.
Guys, I know this doesn't look as good as it tastes.
The cheese is amazing.
Mmm.
The cheese is amazing.
Mmm.
And how this jackfruit came together, it was incredible. Oh my god.
Look at this. I can't help it. This is delicious.
We will have our go-to salad to go along with this, so we'll have that balanced 50-50 plate. But this, wow.
It's been so long since I had a cheesesteak, and you could make this. They have jackfruit in a can that's in brine. It doesn't have salt. It does not taste like this. You can taste the brine a little bit. This is so good. And this mozzarella cheese knocks it out of the park. I mean, I am loving this. Is that delicious or what?
It is.
Hey guys,
You did
let
it again,
us know
man.
how you like the Philly cheesesteak. No, you always help me. Thank you so much for stirring the steak meat.
You're welcome.
Enjoy,
Eat up,
guys.
Eat up. If you like us,
Subscribe. Have
Take
a
care.
great rest of your day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.